going that extra mile, making that focus, and trying as hard as possible just not to compare yourself to others, especially in the world of places like social media, or like you talked about a while ago, when you see another marketing agency and you scroll down and it shows the companies that they're working with, and they're working with all these big brands, and you're like, man, I want to, if only I could work with them, maybe I would be elevated to that same level. But I'm working with smaller companies or smaller founders, but it's not about that. And I just feel like so many entrepreneurs, myself included, you see everything else out there and it feels like everybody's making it, because they're not going to post things where they're not making it. They're not going to show the failures most of the time.
Yeah.
And I think as long as we can stay focused on just what you're talking about, leading with compassion and happiness and helping, and not helping in and I'm doing it for me way, but a genuine, how can I help? How can I help build a bridge? Even if I'm not going to make any money off of this deal, it doesn't matter. How can I help this person with an introduction to somebody in my network that's going to be helpful for them? Yeah. I'm a firm believer that the universe kind of takes note of that and, rewards you on the backside. I mean, the comparison part for me is just where we just have to start to kind of tune it out.
It's a beating, man. And that, I have an interesting view on that for the reasons I've already said, right? You go through enough stuff in your life, you view things a little differently anyway. But then in marketing, a lot of digital marketing, so I see thousands, millions of consumers online talking all day, every day. So I understand human behavior. I see what all these people are talking about and saying publicly. And then by leading with compassion, as you put it, like I also know a lot of these people, and I've talked to them. And I've spent time with people that, that are on their deathbed and had conversations about life with them. And you bring all those things together and it really just, it aligns perfectly in my brain and helps me realize everyone's going through something. Everyone is either faking it till they make it or trying to hide things that are going wrong because they don't want to be judged or because of some other reason. But that's where it comes back to, you've got to be happy with yourself and content with what you're doing. And again, I mentioned the elderly folks that I've had conversations with just because, and there's studies that say this, like if you talk to people on their deathbed, that they're not going to say they wish they'd worked harder and made more money. You've heard it, I'm sure, multiple times.
Sure.
And I used to hear that. And now I've asked the question more times than I understand it fully, that and at the end of the day, if you got enough money in the bank, that's going to help pay some bills, but it's not going to help make you happy and lead to a better, more fulfilled life. And that's what it's all about to me.
Freedom. Freedom over fame. Freedom over cycle stays the same.